Brooklyn.org.
Hey. Are we hearing anything? Oh,
Not yet. Hello.
How about now?
There we go.
Oh, how about now?
Oh, right now.
Oh, right now. All right. Hey. Welcome to the autumn. Welcome to the fall. Welcome to No Suggestion. I'm Ralph Jean Pierre. Co-host Christopher Morucci is here. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is No Suggestion. We're an improv comedy talk show. I got my hoodie on. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I'm not a hoodie guy. I'm not a hoodie guy.
Really?
No.
Where'd you get that?
I got this on a long distance tour some years ago that I don't want to talk about.
Okay. And we shall not.
But I got, a friend gave me this. It's his business in Austin. Shout out my friend True. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, we got a special guest in the house tonight. We got delightful Dan, aka Rob Spenser. Did I do it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to talk before my name is said.
I don't know.
But yeah, I like your hoodie.
We can't ask about the hoodie.
I'm so sorry
I learned that the hard way. We absolutely can't talk about Ralph's hoodie today.
I'm just such a fan of hoodies. I feel like it's the perfect piece of clothing.
Yeah, three of us all literally wearing hoodies. You two in zip-ups. I'm just in a classic bunny hug, as the Canadians call it.
Classic. You got Pikachu on the front.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say Naruto, but those aren't the same thing.
Very different.
Are you both anime boys?
Not in the slightest.
Wow.
I was about to say, did Pikachu show up in Naruto?
I don't know.
I don't even know if they were both for kids properties. I watched like Saturday morning cartoons is how I was like inducted into the Pokemon world.
Yes.
I'm not still like an avid animator. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah.
No, Comic-Con is happening right now because I just came from a rehearsal in Midtown, and let me tell you, the cosplayers are out on the streets.
I have shame and regret because when I was 7 years old until I was about 20 years old, I thought I was going to be a artist for Marvel Comics. I was obsessed with comic books. Like I knew everything. I could walk into a comic book store and just by the cover tell you who drew each cover.
Oh wow!
I was like encyclopedic, and now I'm not. I love the Marvel comic book movies, but I don't. I'm not a comic book boy anymore.
I always go into comic book stores, not on purpose necessarily. I just travel around with a guy who loves comic books.
Wow.
So I'm always in there, and I'm like, I wanna find more value in it than I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I try to find like little things for myself where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll start collecting this. Like my friend told me about a X-Men character called Forget-Me-Not, and his power is if you don't see him, you forget he exists. And I'm
My God!
Oh, damn.
Oh my God!
I can't think of a character that would immediately give me more sense of a dread about my own perception in the universe than that character.
He's the most relatable Marvel character, as far as I'm concerned.
Shout out, one of my favorite guests on No Suggestion podcast was an improviser named Aaron Max Weininger. If you know him. See, this is proving.
No, I just don't know this person.
Yeah.
Don't put anything on me.
He told me, he said when I thought I first met him, he said, oh, we've met several times. And then he said, that's the thing about me, I'm forgettable. And I was like, no! So I spent my friendship with him trying to prove otherwise. Very funny improviser.
That's why you always say good to see you. I never say good to meet you. It's always good to see you.
Yes. Yeah. I do this same adaptation. Yes.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Yes. I think that's probably where buddy came from. I like to call people buddy because usually it's good to, if I don't quite have the name yet, I can be like, hey buddy.
I usually roll into a room, point at myself and say, Christopher?
Yes, I do it too. I just say my name.
Yeah.
I just say.
But it does cause people to like say, no, we've met before. And I'm like, I know, I'm reminding you my name because I thought you forgot who I am.
Yeah.
It's always that way for me. But this last week, somebody was like, no, we've met before. And I was like, I know, I was doing it in case you didn't remember me.
I remember your name's Darren. I remember. You don't have to remind me. It's Darren. It's Darren. I remember, man. It's Darren. I would see you in the airport, right? I would see you in the airport.
I mean, I've seen you in the airport before, but and yes,
Yeah,
like
Darren, it's you, Darren, man. I remember, man.
no, I just said hi. I'm Darren. I got to be honest. I don't remember. Like you have a familiar face, but
Wait. You don't remember me?
no,
I don't remember. I just remember that I first didn't remember you. Just remember that before you didn't remember me, I didn't remember you.
Attention passengers on flight 5547 heading to Pocatello. We will be boarding in 15 minutes, but we have lost the pilot, so please remain in the boarding area.
It's just, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm a little confused right now because you came up to me like we knew each other and, you said your name was Darren and, yeah, I don't remember you. You don't remember me.
I mean, have you come to any of our congregations before? I was just going to ask you if you have heard of Jesus Christ, and I mean, you do have a familiar face. I will tell you that, but and I meet a lot of people.
You've talked to me about Jesus Christ before. I know it. All right, I don't remember it, but I know it, and I know that you.
I'm glad you remember Jesus because he's done a lot for a lot of people, and
he's memorable, and I'm memorable.
You are. I'm going to remember this conversation, absolutely.
Attention passengers, sorry once again for the delay, but Flight 5547 is still looking for the pilot. Turns out that they left a note in a lunchbox that said that they recently found their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and it has led them to not want to be in the sky anymore. So we are still looking for Benjamin. His name, again, was Benjamin. There's an R in there. But he is left the building.
I don't think I've heard so many announcements ever be made at an airport for such a long period of time.
You evangelized the pilot.
Oh, did I? Oh, wait a minute.
Dude, you don't nonchalant. So you're trying to act as if I'm such a good evangelizer. I can't even remember how many people I've evangelized.
I evangelized
to Christ.
a lot of people. Wait, did they say Benjamin on the thing?
Don't look at your watch while you try to remember.
Attention passengers, just in case anyone didn't hear, we said Benjamin.
Okay, I thought they said Benjamin. Yeah, I haven't met any Benjamins, but yeah, Benjamin and I had a great conversation.
Passengers, we did not say Benjamin. We said Benjamin.
That feels unnecessary to announce.
It's because you're so forgetful about the people you've evangelized to. You're being too cavalier. You're a little too cool and suave for a Christ evangelizer, okay? Your pants are a little bit too, the pleat in your pants is a little bit too fine.
I apologize for that. I do.
Don't flash that smile at me.
Hey.
Stop it.
Hey, come on.
That's very...
The airport was about to start playing some jazzy music.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
I like
okay. A couple years ago, you came into a improv night that I was running, or a night that I was running at the Tiny Cupboard. And you came in, I think, with Matt Vita, maybe. They booked you for a show. It was like some show.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you in a few years. I know you I've seen you perform at the Pit, and I don't know where else, but I know you as an improviser from the Pit I seen you perform at the Pit years ago.
Yeah.
And several times. And then I hadn't seen you in a while. We didn't know each other at the time, which is a running theme on this show. I know improvisers, and I've never introduced myself. And
you gotta say your name. You just gotta, walk into a room and say your name.
A lot of this show has been me meeting people that I've just lurked around from afar.
We got to work on the marketing, the branding, and that.
Well, I mean, that's also
that is the brand of the show.
That's also the improv world, sometimes you'll see a commercial and be like, "Oh, that's my friend." Wait, is that my friend? Do I know? Have we had a conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, the number of times, that I meet somebody who says, "Oh, we've never actually met before," and I'm like, "But we know each other." And they're like, "We just follow each other on Instagram."
There is that. It's such a. I mean, there's so many of us, and it's such a. You can't meet everybody, but I definitely had seen you play many times before. And then I hadn't seen you for a while, and you came in and you were talking about like how you were spent the last few years wrestling.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had this podcast by then. I was, but I just remember thinking like, whoa, what a cool, I would love to know everything about that.
Wait, that's so sick.
Yeah. And it's also, I think at that time too, and I don't know what it's like right now, but I think at that time too was like a moment. This time I'm talking about, I think it was around 2020,
Like
one or two
for sure.
And I think pre and post pandemic has this been like this bubbling of like an independent wrestling scene in the city. Okay, tell me.
Well, maybe not necessarily in the city. I feel like it's it's been growing. But yeah, it's funny because it's personally, I mean, I think there's quite a few people who have kind of moved from improv or comedy into wrestling or various other avenues, which are like tangential. Like when I did that show, I wasn't the person they contacted to do the improv show.
Okay.
It was actually a friend of mine named Sazzy Boatwright.
Shout out Sazzy Boatwright.
What an amazing name. As
Oh,
someone
yeah.
who doesn't know that person,
Very
that's a
Sazzy.
great name.
Well, they were also an improviser.
Hell
So we knew each other through the comedy scene, and then we both ended up wrestling. Both of us actually started through, I think they did too, but both of us basically started through the comedy wrestling at UCBW, and then we
UCBW.
Oh, yeah.
This was a show?
So the show was Cage Match, which is like one of the longest running shows at UCB, or was, I guess. And basically it would pit two improv teams against each other. And in the middle, just enough time for most of the crowd to go to the bathroom, they would have a comedy wrestling match, because it was called Cage Match. And so there would be these outlandish characters, and they would do a silly little wrestles in the middle.
Does this still happen?
I don't know if it does. Like, I haven't checked out any shows, but it was going on until pretty much the end.
I've not seen it at Cage Match recently, but I do know people that still do the comedy wrestling. Do you know David Freed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he moved to Spain.
He's in Spain now.
recently.
Yeah.
But I love.
Well, he was doing
boy.
real wrestling too.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, he was training with me. He was becoming a very good ref too.
Oh, I believe that.
Again, a lot of movement
that.
over. Yeah. But yeah, he wasn't at UCB, but then eventually we created a different comedy wrestling company out of the ashes of that, essentially.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Okay. So the world that you're involved in, you would call it comedy wrestling, or is it like?
I mean, I'm a wrestler, not like it's
nice. Okay.
yeah.
What is there a distinction between comedy wrestling and legit wrestling, which also is not like Greco-Roman Olympic style wrestling, but maybe there's a connection there
that's where
too.
it's called pro wrestling, which is confusing because then it's like, oh, is it professional? Like, it's like, oh, if you're doing it for free, is it still pro wrestling? But the sport is called pro wrestling.
The Olympic, like what's in the Olympics?
What like
you do is called pro wrestling.
Yeah, and like what WWE. So it's like that is called professional wrestling, as opposed to like collegiate or Olympic or folk style. Like they have a bunch of like, But yes, so I don't know. Some people it gets murky when it's like comedy wrestling, and because like we would say it was like mostly comedians. Like so, if you look at a pro wrestling show, it's like if you were to say it like 80% performance and then 20% theatrics, we just kind of flipped that. So it was like, all right, there was a couple of us who had trained. So this promotion was called Extremely Serious Wrestling, and it still is. We haven't done a show in a while, but we were talking about Jesse Vandenberg earlier, and name drop another.
That's right.
Yeah, Jesse Vandenberg,
Jesse Vandenberg.
I just found out he wrestled too.
Another accomplished comedy wrestler.
Love Jesse.
But yeah, so then like I feel like the thing is kind of, I guess, a ring. So you're learning how to move in a ring is one of the main things.
All right, so this is very interesting to me for so many reasons. One of the big things is because, how do I put this? So our other co-host, Ashton, which, funnily enough, you've never met.
That's because we're always on opposite nights.
One of the reasons I was so intrigued to have her on is because her backstory, which is she was an improviser at the Pit and one of my favorite improvisers. And then she left at some point and she was like, I'm going to go study acting. And I was like, what? To me, it was like the equivalent of like leaving improv to go study acting is, oh man, what's the equivalent of it to me? I'm trying to think. It's I don't have a good.
No, I mean
analogy.
it's like for any normal person that makes absolute sense, but for a improv obsessed loser like us, it's like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you do something that you can actually move forward with?
Well, here's the thing: I am a trained actor, right? Whatever they would call it classically, whatever they would call that bullshit. I don't like actors and I don't hang out with them. And I don't think I know a single like good improviser who's a worse actor than an actor. Like improvisers, all the skills that actors try to get it in their acting school is what improv teaches. The only thing that's missing is, okay, can you memorize lines? Yeah. Which any ape can memorize. You know what I mean? Like I personally like, and again, I'm someone who studied both. Like I studied improv for a long time. I studied acting for a long time. I teach both. And yeah, I wish I had a good metaphor for it. It's just like, to me, it's redundant. It just seems redundant to me. So anyway,
I had a similar thing where it was,
Aston doesn't feel that way. She got a lot out of her training and God bless her. But yes. Please.
Oh no, just, because when I moved back to New York, it was like, I was excited, like a big, impetus for it was, like I had been a big fan of Chris Gethard.
Shout out Chris Gethard.
Like when I was in high school, I saw him do improv, and then like he had his show, and I
doing a stance on the side.
Yeah, always with his.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But like around the time I came back, he was like basically on his way out of improv and moving to stand up, and I'm like, stand up,
right?
Which like I have some love for stand up, a little bit less now than I have in the past, but
yes.
Hey, honey, this might be hard to hear. I have a little less love for you than I had in the past.
Less love. I
want to be clear. I don't want a divorce. You and I think we should still live together and raise the kids together, but it's been weighing heavy on my heart, and I wanted to let you know that I just love you less than I used to.
Joshua, this is, it's kind of hard to, this is very casual.
Well, yeah, we're playing pickleball.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't feel like returning the serve. You don't love me?
No, Jameson, I love you so much. But do you remember how I used to love you to infinity and beyond and back?
I mean, you would say that.
Yeah, now I love you to the moon and back.
Okay.
It's still a lot. It's just a little less.
Beautiful couple. I want to take a picture. Do the pickleball. Take a picture as the couple together. Beautiful couple.
Yeah. I'd love it.
Okay, sure.
Get posed together for love. Very loving pose. Very love tender.
Jameson, you're doing a hover hand around my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just dropped a bomb on me.
No. Touch one another. Intimacy, closeness, trust, sincerity. Yeah. Very sure. Show me.
I'm sorry. You just stopped your game to take a picture of us. It makes me feel a little uncomfortable, and we're having a bit of a harsh moment.
No, not harsh.
Very, very sorry. I am photographer of pickleball. I take picture of a couple that are very in love. I'm cold, inert, impersonal. The love drained out. My camera.
Oh God.
My camera no longer works.
Wait, do you have that gallery on Smith Street?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love your photos.
I
Sorry,
take
this
picture
is
of beautiful
no, they're
couple in
beautiful
love.
pictures of beautiful couples. I really like your work.
For a moment, out of my periphery inside of my gaze, I thought you were a couple beautifully in love.
no, we are. And
Before
we're
this game,
in
I
love.
would 100% agree with it.
Jameson, what does that mean? Are you no longer in love with me?
No, I love you. I love you to infinity and beyond. Like, I mean, like ever since
Not back again?
and
See?
back again.
Things change.
I'm
Things change.
I just want to alert you, my camera, which is a very, one of the most advanced cameras, now soft like bread, spongy, porous.
Jameson, how did you make this man's camera turn into a piece of wet bread?
I don't know. You know what happens when I get upset.
I know.
My mind changes things, okay?
Sir, I think for your own safety, you should probably step back. I can't. The reason I tried to have this conversation with you, Jameson, while we were doing something was so that you would be distracted and so that your telekinetic powers wouldn't destroy New York City.
Do you love me less because of my mind-changing powers?
I mean, I wouldn't say that's the main reason why. You also don't do the dishes, but
Oh, my pants are made of dragons now. Both my leg and my pants are dragon snakes. Help me.
I'm so sorry about that. I love your photos. I really do.
Oh, thank
but
you.
I'm sorry I don't do the dishes, okay? And I'm sorry sometimes I turn things into other things.
Maybe there's something deeper. Maybe there's something unsaid between the two of you. Maybe that will rekindle the love.
Jameson, I want you to look me in my eyes and tell me all the things that you've always thought about, held on to, but never said.
Joshua, when I changed your golf clubs into rubber duckies,
yeah,
that one was on purpose. I don't really like golf.
And Jameson, I love you a little less because of all this. I have to say thank you for being honest. That was very emotionally intimate, but I love those golf clubs. I spent the standard 3 months pay on my golf clubs.
I know you did, but I'm sorry. I just felt like it was taking time away from us.
Away from us?
Yes, because I love you so much and I love spending time with you. And sometimes I worry that if I don't spend time with you, I'm going to get really upset and really flustered. And oh, fuck. I did not mean to change that. I'm so sorry.
No, the pickleball is just.
The pickleball isn't me. The pickleball isn't seen. Wow, beautiful. Okay, I'm super fascinated by this. I didn't know all about this world of comedy wrestling, and I think the point I was trying to get to is the line between comedy wrestling. I know very little about this, but like, I can't think of a successful pro wrestler who isn't pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's again, all these skills are kind of like and seeing people of other skills, like I will do shows with like burlesque performers and drag performers and all this stuff. And you realize it's all the same, like it's all the same skill set.
I was just saying this. I started doing comedy in like a comedy burlesque world. And so like all my friends when I first started were burlesque dancers and drag queens. And I was like, this is the same thing, but nobody's grouping us together.
Yeah, no, it's 100% the same thing. It's all just a bunch of insecure people who want people to love them and will, embarrass themselves in many ways and really just try to get approval.
I love that. That's beautiful. And all of this resonates with me because I do feel like, I guess it's widening the. And I mean, I always saw that. Like I always saw, especially in the clown world too. I'm also in the clown, like burlesque and drag and all that stuff. It all kind of we all feel like cousins somehow. And wrestling.
That kiss.
What's that?
Cousins that kiss.
Very very incestuous. And now it's widening to wrestling. I wanna. Where did the wrestling where for you did you go? You know what? Where were you at when you were like, I'm pivoting to wrestling? What path were you on, and when was that pivot, or was that always the plan?
No, I mean, it was a real kind of weird soft pivot. I mean, part of it was also just seeing, because I really enjoyed the wrestling part of the UCB shows.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then most of the people, I mean, some really accomplished people were part of it throughout the years, but also the mainstays were like, who the fuck is this person? Oh, I'm sorry, swearing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it was just like all these other people, these like, you didn't see otherwise on stage. And then it turned out it was like, oh yeah, this is the thing that nobody really wants to do, but you get to have stage time on UCB. And I was like, well, I really like it. And also, I want to have stage time on UCB. That was like a goal of mine when I was like 15. So I'm like, all right, come on.
So you're going to these cage match shows and everybody's like using the wrestling part as like a bathroom break and like just like this throwaway thing, and you're like, that's the part I like.
Yeah. And like the people, like some of the people who did it took it like very seriously, and it's like, this is a chance to perform. Like sometimes you would get to cut a promo at the end of the show, and it's like, so you get 5 minutes on the stage in front of a captive audience. It's like you get to perform. And I know other people who have like been stand-ups like or eventually became stand-ups, and they were like, oh yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to like essentially do stand-up. And it just gives you a chance to be creative in a different way.
I always appreciate that thing when like you do somebody's show or like something happens, and then they're appreciative, like, thank you for putting work into that. Like, thank you for putting effort into this thing, because it's like, oh, that's right. This thing is that I value it, and I am so eager for and grateful for it. Like, not that other people take advantage of it, but it's like, oh yeah, there's such a difference when the thing that you're doing, you're trying to like put that emphasis of like, I care about this. I want to make this good because this is my chance to do the thing that I want to do. And like really putting like the things that you love into that is so cool.
Well, it's I feel like I've talked about this a lot recently, but a friend of mine, a wrestler named CPA, who is what you think he is.
Hell yeah, a doctor?
No.
Oh shit,
he's not what you think he is. Yeah. I apologize. But he says a lot to to us at the school that I'm at. He says like, no one's making you be here, because sometimes people will show up to shows and it's like, I don't really want to do anything. And it's like, well, you chose to be here. A lot of the time it's like, you've gone on long journeys to come here. It's like, put effort in, you know, like, it's like, why would you, it's even if it's, taking the subway from Brooklyn to Manhattan, to do a basement show, it's like, well, you took the subway, like, put effort. Like, why wouldn't you want to do something with that time?
There's something very confronting about that. Somehow there's something very confronting about, we got like a duality, and it's like a push and pull. It's like and I think it sometimes gets better when you are older and maybe out of school, some sort of school thing, because then you have to confront like, oh, I guess nobody's asking me to be here. Nobody's expecting anything out of me. I'm either going to throw my weight behind this or not. But, and that is probably a way that adulthood, I'm very not into, I teach and my students talk a lot about when I get out into the real world. I hate it. Because it's like, you're paying for this.
Yeah.
The money's real.
Yeah.
The world is real. You know what I mean? This is real right now.
Yeah.
But there is a difference when like you're not getting a grade. You just have to show up and you do what you do, and nobody cares what the result was except for you.
Yeah. And maybe someone will care. If you never know.
Oh yeah. That used to be the slogan of the New York State Lottery. You guys remember? Hey, you never know. That was the slogan. It was a good slogan.
That is a good slogan.
It was a good way to encourage people to gamble. I want to know about you went to college in Toronto?
Yeah.
I hear they call it Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto? Yeah, I guess so.
You went there. What brought you there, and where were you coming from?
So I'm from the suburbs of New York, so like 30 minutes north. But yeah, what was the decision? I was like, oh, I don't like the way things are here. I was a rebellious teenager. I'm like, I want to move to Canada.
Hold on, I want to hear about this. Wait,
Yeah.
okay. So what kind of
I wasn't really like, I'm just like, I'm still a rebellious teenager nearing my 40s. But no, I feel like there was just something about like the way that I'm
very fascinated because I was not a rebellious teenager.
Well, I feel like I wasn't in action, but I was in like, like
in
to my
theory.
parents. Oh boy.
Okay.
Like one of those like, yeah. And also like I was in a relationship and we were like, fuck this, let's go to Canada.
Wow.
And like I had a teacher who was telling me, he's like, you might like the way that system goes. Cause there were like, I don't know. I feel like I just didn't like a lot of the American school system or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hated Canadian school system, turns out.
Oh, wow.
Hated that.
Wow, it was a very Wizard of Oz moment. You realize you were home all along.
Yeah. Turns out school is bad.
Nice. What did you end up studying?
Oh boy. So my major was diaspora and transnational studies.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Oh no, everyone does.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is. Something about it is.
The
yes.
breath before I said it is part of my response.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh, this seems interesting. And also my grades aren't good enough for a lot of other programs. And, I didn't know what it meant. I still don't know if I necessarily do. There was no set, definition or pronunciation of it.
I want to thank you for saying this because I feel like a lot of times people say things to me about things they're studying and I'm like, I don't think this means anything.
Yeah.
I don't think this is real. But anyway.
Doesn't diaspora mean like a large scale of like different things? Because what does that mean in terms of studying?
I think it's a word that has no meaning. I hear it all the time and I don't think it means anything.
Hey guys, come in. Like I just looked through the new dictionary that y'all printed, and there are a bunch of words without any definitions in here. What's that about?
2024.
Let's break away from traditional definitions that will be printed in words and letters. Colonialism, okay? Let's adopt meanings. Let's derive meanings internally from a spiritual, internal, intuitive place, from a cradle within us.
Steven, we work.
Our names are spelled the same, but they're pronounced differently.
I know.
Thank
I
you
write
for
your
pronouncing
paychecks.
them differently.
And don't worry. I know which one of you is which. I've never made a mistake on that.
Do you?
We're not going to test me on it right now.
Okay.
I am your boss.
Okay.
We work at the dictionary, which the whole job. Stefan,
I would like to maybe change the name to maybe the vaginary.
Yeah. We were discussing it's incredibly phallic.
Stefan.
Incredibly phallic.
It's
Steven?
too phallic, especially when you open the book. What does this resemble to you? What does this resemble?
How does it open? How does it fall
Why
open?
are your dictionaries so wet?
Because knowledge is so
sweat evoking.
Okay. All right.
We
all right.
think.
Steven, Stefan, I need you two to do your jobs.
We are attempting to do our jobs. We're attempting to bring something of ourselves, our culture, our heritage, all of our diasporic knowledge and experience.
Oh, good.
Okay.
bear.
Hey, Stefan, Steven, either one of you, go ahead and tell me, what does diaspora mean?
I'm going to answer your question with another question.
No.
Thank you, Stephen.
No.
Is our job to reprint the same book year after year after year?
Essentially, yes. We add a couple new ones, but essentially, yes.
Face the facts. Miriam's dead. Webster's dead. I don't know if that's one
Don't
person
you talk about
or
my
two
parents like
different
that.
people. Oh,
Don't
I
you talk
apologize.
about my mother and father like that.
Miriam has passed on. Miriam has gone on to the second realm, has not passed away, but transcended, transitioned, been transposed.
We just added that word.
Which word?
Transcended. We added that to the dictionary this year.
Okay, and what is the definition of that word?
Allow me to say it in Sanskrit.
Oh my fucking God.
The vibes are no longer attuned. I can't.
The vibe?
You've ruined the Sanskrit vibes.
I've ruined the
100%.
vibes?
I'm gonna enter into a moment of prayer and meditation, a meditation that is guided by Tina Fey.
Not in my office. You're not by Tina Fey? Is this an audio recording that you have?
It's an app and also a prayer.
It's a really good app.
See,
An app and also a prayer? I would download that shit like that.
I did not know I desperately needed to play that character. Wow. God bless everyone.
What an easy job.
But that's beautiful. I mean, I want to honor the version of you were at that age, what, 19, 20, when you're like, I want to study this. I want to take a chance at this and see what this is. This seems
kind of.
good.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really, because I was just very undecided. Like, I couldn't make up my mind. I still can't, but
yeah, who can?
But I was like, oh, I have to have a major. I thought I wanted to do film, and then it turns out you need to like get a decent enough grade in the first class, film class, and when they're showing you films at like 8 a.m, your boy's got to sleep. And by that, I mean, I got to class. I would just fall asleep during all the movies. So.
Nice.
What's the best movie to sleep to?
It's been a while. What's that guy's name? The
Martin Scorsese.
You got to sleep. No, and these were pretentious movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like
I like that. That's a category. That's a blockbuster
like on
Netflix
Netflix?
category. Yeah.
Was that Ozu? Was that the guy's name? There was like someone who always had these very static shots, and they were really long, and they were like low.
Yes.
I also studied the diaspora, so I don't know much about film literature.
All right. Where's it gonna go? It makes me think about there's certain do you know, oh God, I can't remember his name right now, but his name is also Rob. He's a wrestler. He's a very beloved bouncer in Brooklyn. He's a big dude. Ron, God bless you, Ron. I love you so much.
Wait, Ron?
Ron. He's a big dude. But he's a wrestler.
Like a professional, or
I think he did it for many years. But I just like think of there's like he toured and all that stuff for many years. But I just think of people like in this world that I get to be a little bit part of, like carnies. You know what I mean? Like traveling. Like I know people who are part of Ringling Circus. I know people who are part of other circuses, acrobats.
Yeah.
Just people who have like kind of. What do you call them, like freak show acts or whatever it is, all these different kinds of people. And it's like, I count myself lucky, even though I'm a person, I knew what I was going to do when I was 7. I've never not known what I was going to do. I've always known like exactly what I wanted to do. I feel very lucky in that way.
Must be nice.
Yes. Very. But I, because of what I wanted to do, I've always found myself in the company of people who are like, I don't know, I'm just figuring it out. And if I'm honest, I haven't always had patience for that. But I learned through the experience of like what a beautiful thing it is to be on a journey along with people like that who are like discovering themselves and allowing themselves to like trip and fall and take bumps and just figure it out. And then sometimes they end up on these paths that like, somebody's got to be a fucking wrestler. Somebody's got to be in the circus. Somebody's got to do that.
That's so
thing.
true.
And it's beautiful. These people go, I'm doing it and I'm fucking going for it. I run Burning Man. Whatever it is that they do.
No, I feel like a lot of things it's been like, oh, accidental, and then doubling down, because it was like it was when I first started training, like it was like some of the other UCBW people were training, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'll do a class, because there was a school in Philly that modeled their curriculum after UCB. Like they're like, oh, we're going to do 101, 201, 301.
But wrestling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like 7-week classes. So I'm like, okay, cool. I could do an experience of.
Did you have a good experience at this school?
Yeah, for the most part.
What was the name of it?
It's no longer in existence, and there's a lot of
that's not. But you got
yeah, it's called the Wrestle Factory, and it like yeah, there was this indie wrestler who I was getting back into wrestling, and I would watch his videos, and he was like really good, but also just so entertaining and so funny, and I'm like, oh, I love this guy. So he had a class, and I was like, okay, I'll go do a class with this guy Chuck Taylor, who was amazing. Maybe the worst teacher of anything I've had, which I say as an absolute compliment, because he would teach advanced people, and there's like he recently retired, and there was just a thread of people on Twitter talking about like how funny it was to be in class with him, because he would just be like, yeah, do this, and I have like, as someone, like, it's the first day, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's like, yeah, do a handstand into a flip bump or something like that.
Wow.
It's like,
Wild. That's wild.
yeah.
What are some of the mechanics of wrestling that just a plebe like me wouldn't know? Like basic simple things that are like, these are the basic simple things that you wouldn't even know are going on.
Oh yeah, there's so much. A lot of it is just like basic body control, and it's like muscle memory. So it's the first thing that because I'm like I help teach a lot of the newer students at my school, T2T Brooklyn.
Shout them out. Shout them out.
No
Big and
bubbles.
loud.
Yeah. One more time.
Yeah, T2T Brooklyn.
T2T.
Yeah.
T2T.
T2T.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first thing you do in pretty much any school, or it should be the first thing you do in every school, is do a front somersault, essentially.
Can't do one.
Yeah, you have to roll, and it's like because like there's a bunch of rolls. Every class starts with rolls.
I love that.
Also Thanksgiving dinner at my house.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have to do a front roll and then a back roll, and there's like different variants of rolls, and it's like you get back to your feet. And I can tell you the first ever class I did, I went with a friend who was also in the improv world, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll do it together. So we tried doing front rolls, not that great. Then we went for back rolls. I pulled my abdomen on my first back roll. He went directly after me, pulled his abdomen on his back roll.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's funny because so now I teach people how to do it, and like people get really like in their head about it, because it's like, oh, why can't I do this? I'm like, don't worry. I'll tell you, like, it's like, I am the least athletic person. Wow. This is how I started, and I eventually figured it out. So take time.
I just imagine your bones get stronger as you do this, because you're just taking
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's like bones, muscles. Like there's things you strength. Like there's the there's like the aesthetic aspect of like going to the gym, which clearly I haven't nailed down. But then there's like a lot
strong,
of the,
my friend. You look strong.
Well, there's the actual like practical ability. Like there's a lot of like core strength that goes into it. Like the rolls themselves. Again, I pulled my abdomen. Now I won't do that because I know how to tuck it, and yeah, so there's like a lot of like little things, and a lot of just kind of working together and figuring out, because picking people up, it's not easy, but also there's techniques. There's technique to everything. So some of the stuff that looks really cool and impressive is just a matter of like having good technique more than actual athletic ability.
I love also that journey. I think that it's a very clear image actually of probably what you went through, of the hero's journey idea, where you have some vision in your mind of like, I think I should do this thing or be this thing. You have no idea what it means. Mm-hmm. it's foolish for you to even think it, but you're like, I think I'm supposed to do this. And you go out and then you hit all the walls and shrubs and obstacles that lead to you getting to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of all this, you become that thing. But at the beginning, you're so unequipped. You're so not the thing. Like, you got to be pounded and pressed and flattened and stretched and slapped and thrown and stomped and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then at the end, you're like a different creature.
Yeah.
For what do you remember? Like, yeah, I mean, you've given us a great picture of it already, which is I pulled my abdomen.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even understand how that.
I didn't understand it either. Yeah.
What is your conception of this kind of journey, Christopher? This kind of hero's journey. Do you have your own version of it that you can relate to, or do you have your own idea about it?
Well, I mean, the main thing that I've been thinking about is I don't think I have an abdomen. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, the journey through, like, for any performer, like, especially a silly performer, that journey through ego death to the other side of, like, oh, okay, I can handle failing. Like, I can mess this up, and it will not kill me. Mm-hmm. And understanding, like, oh, if I'm performing music, I've had times where all of the words to my songs have left my head, and I'm like, oh, this is the worst I've ever felt. I should stop. But I'm like, but I didn't die from that. That didn't kill me. I can try again tomorrow and it'll be better. Or like it might not be, but like that was not the end of me. And it's like same with performing comedy. Like Ralph, I took class from you. I mean, like, you coached me for a long while. I remember the first time I ever did that exercise. It's more of like a clowning exercise, but when everyone's up on the wall and you can't move forward unless you make people laugh, and if you don't make people laugh, you have to move on back. And the first time I ever did that was not with you; it was with a different like class, and I was stuck on that wall for what felt like the longest period of time I've ever experienced in my life. Because I was just standing in silence as people were just staring at me, waiting for me to make them laugh. And I was like, and nothing that I did would make anyone laugh. And I just felt like, what is happening? Oh, God.
All right, time to pick teams for kickball. Everybody line up. Everybody line up on the wall. I'm going to pick some teams.
I'd rather we not do it by height.
All right, line up by size order, please. Shortest people on
Why did I say that out loud?
On the right, tallest people on the left.
Over to the right.
All right, let's see. Nathaniel. Havermeyer.
Yeah.
You guys, it's been 3 hours. We've been standing on this wall.
I know they've just been staring at
Andrews.
They've just been staring at the three of us, refusing to play the game. But none of them can pick between the three of us which one they would like on their team as their second to last pick.
Paulson. Who are the names that they're calling?
I think they're the players already on the teams.
They don't want to say it. They could just say our names.
I think it's just a repeated roll call.
I think they're also just saying literary figures every once in a while.
Yeah, that sounds like. And I mean, I know I'm not the best, but I was practicing all summer, and I
saw
really
you practice.
Yeah, I know. I watched because I was too afraid to practice myself because I didn't have anyone to practice with, but I watched. I threw my telescope.
I also didn't have anyone to practice with.
I kept meaning to come out and practice with you. I couldn't figure out how to tie my shoes. I tried all summer.
I do love the Velcros.
The Velcro is really cool. I like that it lights up.
Hubble telescope.
I said that one I don't think was a person at all. That one, I think they just saw a glint of light in the sky.
My shoes have stopped lighting up.
No.
Oh, no.
How long have we been standing here?
It's been a while.
Is it just me? Or does Billy, the main captain on Team 1 look like he's aged. Have we been standing here long enough for the people over on the field to have aged?
Work on side slow.
Did William, the captain of Team B, always have that beard?
I think he's half machine now.
Guys, I mean, I still feel 14. You two look 14.
I feel and look 14, but I wonder if maybe the ice age that we've gone through has preserved us.
Oh, because we got iced out from being on the teams?
Yes, but also the Earth has gone through several phases of closeness and being farther away from the sun.
I didn't notice that.
Oh my God.
This is really hurting my feelings.
Was that when we were talking about Magic the Gathering?
Dude, I love your green and white deck.
Thank you so much. I worked really hard to cultivate it.
It's so
But
good.
I had to put it down.
Gabriel.
I had to put it down over the summer because I was really trying to get kickball going.
You guys, this summer we should really practice together.
Oh my God. Together?
Tennessee Williams.
Why? We should have thought to practice together before.
I kept trying, but I can't figure out how to tie my shoes.
The concept of the sun.
I don't know if you necessarily need tied shoes.
No, yeah, I don't think the shoes are the thing that's keeping you from being successful. I think.
Why won't they start playing? They're just looking at us. It's not even as though we're not getting picked.
Oh, Blart, Volkov? I don't know.
It's so frustrating. I've been trying to call my mom for her to pick me up because, I mean, theoretically, she should have been by. Even if we were playing the game, she should have come by to pick me up.
Do you have 0 bars too?
Wait. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, I think they're starting to play. Oh, my God. Your mom is tackling us.
That's how kickball works.
Mom tackle.
Mom tackle.
Mom tackle. You know what? I'm gonna leave. Go start an indie improv team.
That is the
and
most-
It's gonna be called Mom tackle.
That is the most
Sorry.
improv.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Can you, okay, I want you to offer 2 sets of advice right now.
Oh,
First, I want you to offer a set of advice to somebody who's listening to this who might be just curious about wrestling. What should they do?
I mean, obviously, you should sign up for T2T Wrestling Academy.
T2T?
Which I mean, like, and I've been at several schools. I went to the one in Philly. I went to one on Long Island. I do kind of help run this, so obviously biased, but I think the way that we run classes is just really good because you can start absolutely from the bottom, and also it's
We're here.
and again, you were talking about, carny things. A lot of schools will be like, hey, give us $4,000 and you're a student for, as long as you want to be versus, you pay a small amount per month and you don't have to be there after a month, but you can also be there. Like, so it's, monthly payments.
Oh, that's lovely.
Also it's incredibly inclusive, which is like super cool. Like I am the token straight of the school, which is not an exaggeration. Like it is like, it has become, and it wasn't started this way, but it is like, it has become and just turned into like a queer haven. Like,
Nice.
I mean, that's just a sign of like a safe space.
yeah, which is like, it's like, we are so proud of having built that because it's like, it's just really dope. Like, cause there's not that much queer representation. Like it's getting more and more, but, like our school is like, it's majority, like
Nice.
more than majority. It's I'm
Beautiful.
like, yeah.
T2T. Hey, let's do also a commercial for Radio Free Brooklyn. You're listening to Radio Free Brooklyn, independent listeners support of radio. Thank you for listening to Radio Free Brooklyn. Your support keeps us going. Hey, when you Radio Free Brooklyn is a community-based and based nonprofit organization that exists primarily on donations from listeners. We're a 501c3 charitable organization, so all donations are tax deductible. Donations can be donations can be made at radiofreebrooklyn.org/donate. Why don't you read one of those, Rob?
Wait, where's
The third one.
third?
Yeah.
Wait.
The chunky one.
Oh.
Yeah, read whatever part of that you want.
Radio Free Brooklyn is a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission to provide freedom and open platform to our community and promote literacy, education, free expression, and public art. We rely primarily. on contributions from listeners like you to keep us going. So if you believe in our mission and would like to show your support, please consider making a one-time donation or a monthly pledge to radiofreebrooklyn.org/donate. Every cent helps continue to stay on the air. Please.
Follow RFB. Make sure you follow Radio Free Brooklyn on our socials. We're at Radio Free Brooklyn on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
T2T.
Keep up with the latest on upcoming events and all things RFB Live. Please check out radiofreebrooklyn.org/events.
Diaspora. All right. Beautiful.
Tackle from mom.
Okay. And the other set of advice I want you to give is to any young or young at heart person who doesn't know what they should be doing, what they're supposed to do, what they want to do. What advice do you have for that person?
I mean, no one knows, but also, this, you never know what will hit. I'm trying to take this advice myself, but you never know like what will end up working. Because I considered myself a failure in the comedy world, in the improv world, and then something I just hit a random pivot that allowed me to get in front of people and make them laugh. So like it's a weird backwards way of like the path is never, as linear as you think it's going to be. Except for you, because you knew what you were going to do when you were 17.
Yep. From birth.
Yeah. But, most people do not know what path they're going to take. But keep the creative ideas in your mind, because if you have it, then you have it.
You heard it here, folks. The path is never straight, even if you're a token straight. T2T.
Hey,
very
That's
good.
a T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Christopher? You got any advice for people? Good.
Oh, I could have said no. Damn it!
I got you in my box.
And also tuck your chin. That's the other piece of advice.
Ooh, yeah, especially for a roll. You gotta tuck that chin.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're gonna be biting off your tongue.
It's Thanksgiving. Tuck that chin in. Tuck it in and bite down.
Yes, Ma.
Tuck it in.
Okay.
It's Thanksgiving.
Can I just carve the turkey?
Yeah, but if you're gonna carve it, fucking tuck in, baby. Tuck in and bite down.
Mom, you're ripping the turkey in half.
I wear a mouth guard while I roast the turkey.
I would like to say thanks. I am thankful.
Give that fucking prayer, Kathy.
I just wanted to say I'm thankful for the doorknobs being put back on my door.
Fuck yeah! Did it by hand.
But the prayer, I will say, oh God. Oh God.
Tuck in.
I'm tucked in.
Oh God.
I don't love a prayer starting with "Oh God."
Please don't hurt me.
The Lord is coming.
Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
Mama's got you. Mama's got you.
Hey,
are you afraid of Mama?
Yes.
Oh
yeah, Mom.
I told you, Mama. I'm afraid.
Tuck in. This is Thanksgiving. Give thanks. Kathy, finish the prayer.
Oh, I thought I did.
Oh, I don't know.
Amen again.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, please.
I put grenades in the turkey.
Why did you do that?
All right, good. This is it. This is No Suggestion. How do people find you, Rob?
So you can follow me Twitter, I guess, the Crob. But you can follow my friend Delightful Dan, the pro wrestler, at Goddamn Candyman on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and a bunch of other stuff. So.
Delightful Dan, Goddamn Candyman. How about you, Christopher? How do people find you?
Yeah, everybody can follow me on all of the things at Christopher Morucci. That's Morucci.
All right. And you can find all things about me, Ralph Jean Pierre, my music, which is Precious Gorgeous, and this podcast at preciousgorgeous.com. We love you. This is No Suggestion. Good night.
Good night.